Welcome to episode 3 of Meek and Humble Hearts, a place for imperfect people. I will give the perfect people a chance to click off. I always start with my disclaimer. Some people have been called to preach. I ain't heard nothing. I'm simply a person that's tired of getting it wrong, that wants to get it right. And we will go ahead and jump into today's episode titled, You've Been Robbed. Now, how many times have we heard the statement, the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy? That's one that we hear often. So it comes from John 10:10, where it states, the thief does not come except to steal and to kill and to destroy. I have come that they may have life and they may have it more abundantly. I'm going to say that again because I just feel like I didn't say that well. So John 10:10, the thief does not come except to steal and to kill and to destroy. I have come that they may have life and that they may have it more abundantly. So we often always talk about the kill, steal, destroy. This is what Satan does. That's his agenda. But we forget that God says, I have come so that we may have life more abundantly. We often sometimes just leave those parts out. Well, I want to talk about specifically the agenda of Satan, because I think that sometimes we are often found rejoicing that the devil did not kill us or destroy us. And I understand, yes, you should always, give God praise and glory when you overcome something, right? I mean, we know that the glory goes to God. But we rarely seem to realize when we've been robbed. We usually overlook that. So the woes of life can sometimes be so detrimental that we are often in survival mode. And we spend so much time in survival mode that we don't understand, or we don't recognize the times in which Satan never fired a kill shot to destroy us. He never tried to kill us, but he robbed us blind. And we are just so used to being in this mode where it's like, we're fighting to survive. We're fighting to survive. We're fighting to survive. I made it out. I made it out. I made it through. I made it through. But we don't think about, and we rarely take account for what didn't make it out. Oftentimes we go through and we come out of a lot of storms. And God, thank God for that. But I made it out, but all of my peace didn't make it out. I made it out, but all of my joy didn't make it out. I made it out, but all of my self-confidence didn't make it out. I made it out, but all of my faith didn't make it out. So we make it out of things, but we never go back and account for what didn't make it out. And not only do we not go back and account for it because we didn't take inventory, right? We don't even realize that we don't have it. We don't realize that we've been robbed. And we don't realize that the devil doesn't really want to take you out. He doesn't really want to kill you or destroy you. He would much rather have you on his team. So his goal is really not to kill you or destroy you. His goal is to rob you. And let me just talk about how he does it. We know that the mind is not just where you think, it's where you fight your greatest battles. And that is the one place where you will always find yourself attacked. Satan is always going to come for your mind, because if he can control your thoughts, he can control your behaviors. And as long as he can keep you away from your God-given purpose, he claims victory, because as long as you're not walking with God, as long as you're not moving with God and doing what God is telling you to do, as long as you are far away from your purpose, that's where he wants you. He is perfectly fine with that. That is his preference for you, to be far away from God. And he does that by planting things in your mind, planting doubt in your mind that forces you to do what you know you have no business doing. So again, he often does not fire a kill shot. He just wants to rob us blind. He plants that doubt in our minds so that he can control us and he can control our behaviors. And I get it. Life be lifing. Trust me, my life has lifed. I am over it sometimes. But if you do nothing else, you must learn to control your mind. And in order to control your mind, you need to know and understand our natural responses. I don't know anybody who has not experienced trauma. If you are a unicorn and you have been trauma free, go ahead and this is where you're just going to click off. But we have experienced trauma in our lives, and a lot of it comes from our childhood. And it's this thing, this ongoing thing, and it triggers our response. And I know we're often, all of us, we're familiar with the flight or fight, right? Kind of response. But there's actually more than that. When we experience trauma, we naturally respond one or more of the following 7 ways. We have the fight, which is where we are going to be aggressive toward the cause of our pain, right? That's that knuck if you buck part of us. We have the flight where we emotionally or even physically remove ourselves from the situation or from the cause. This can often lead us to a place of isolation. We also have the response of freezing, where our bodies literally shut down, like almost in a state of paralysis. You have the fawn response, where we appease or accommodate the source of the trauma just to simply avoid conflict. That's that part of us that will just I'm not going to speak up. I'm not going to advocate for myself. I'm not going to say anything because I just want to keep the peace. So that's that fawn response. You have the flood, where you are overwhelmed and consumed with emotion and you often just lose control. You have flock, where you seek comfort and safety in others. And then you have flop, where you physically or emotionally collapse and you often just go numb. And while all of those are natural trauma responses, do your research, like these are true trauma responses. None of them involve seeking God, right? None of them involve seeking God and leaning into the promises that God has for us. And so our natural trauma responses drive us toward the enemy and his agenda. So if we're naturally wired to do that in the flesh, right? Here we go. I'm going to bring it back up when you're talking about out here moving with your donkey versus your ox. Because if we're being honest, we are rarely going out with our ox. I'm going to keep it real. It's rare. We are in this world, we are of the flesh, and that flesh part of us is very much our donkey. If you all hear airplanes, oh my goodness. I don't think I've ever heard so many airplanes in my life, but when I decide that I want to film something, here they go. But, that's what we are. We are in our flesh, and it's being able to control that. It's being able to deny that. It's being able to really practice, again, the fruit of the Spirit that most people don't want to talk about. It is so important to be honest about it. And I'll tell you my three that I know I am like, God, I need you to develop me in this area, please. That is my patience. That is my self-control. Because my patience is very thin. My self-control, I've been doing real good in self-control, y'all. I've been doing a lot better in self-control. And then the last one is long-suffering. Sometimes we're just like, God, just come on and bring me out. Like, God, are you going to show up? Are you going to, seriously? And so those are the 3 areas that I am very much still in the gym on, because I struggle with it. And I will be the first to admit. And when you are struggling, especially in self-control, patience, and long-suffering, that is one of the areas where the enemy can swoop in and start planting doubt. I'm going to tell you something that happened to me last week, and I'm just being completely transparent and completely honest. So I have currently in life, I have a ton of unknowns. Well, I won't say right now. At the time, I had a ton of unknowns. I am responsible for a lot. People are counting on me to make a way in so many, different ways. I'm just being stretched and pulled in. I'm trying to serve. I'm trying to be, what God has called me to be. I'm trying to follow God, say, yes, God, listen, be obedient, all the things. And I just woke up one morning and I was just so consumed with emotion. I mean, consumed. I'm just sobbing. I literally just felt like I literally woke up sobbing. And I remember getting in the shower and I am just sliding down the shower walls, y'all. When I say ugly cry, I ugly cried. Like, it was horrific. I am just bawling. At this point, you don't know the difference between my tears and the water from the shower. I am literally just sobbing and I'm just like pouring. I'm like, God, are you just not going to answer any of my questions? Are you just not going to give me anything? Are you just going to just let me continue to just like, I need something. God, I need some answers. Like, I am struggling. Like, are you just going to watch me? Because I'm just like, I need something. And God was like, get up. Have you ever seen a 2-year-old throw a tantrum and sometimes it's not mama, sometimes it's grandmama coming up, get up. When I say he told me to get up. And I got up and I got myself together. And, I went on and got dressed for the day. And as I'm getting dressed, my phone starts to ring. Text messages come through. Emails are coming through. God is coming through. I began to receive answers for everything that I needed from God. Like, it was just like, I was like, okay. It was one of those moments because I promise you, I was going through, I was literally just losing it in the shower. And God said, get up. And then he just got to working. And it wasn't, and I'll just be honest with you, it wasn't because I threw the tantrum. Because I did. I threw a tantrum. Like, I'm telling y'all the mild version. When I say it was ugly, it was ugly. I was going off. Still respectful now. I ain't crazy. Like, I don't play with my daddy. But I still was just like, going in. And the reason why I know he answered me so quickly, it wasn't because I threw a tantrum and he was just trying to pacify me. It is because there is a version of me that would have just said, I'll figure it out. Now, I probably would have still cried and did all of that, but I would have got up and just like, I'll figure it out. And I would have went somewhere leaning on my own understanding and did something stupid, right? Like, I would have handled it in a way that was just dumb. I'm just going to be honest. And because I just cried out, and I was just like, even though I had my little tantrum, I went off, but I was just like, God, I need a way. Like, God, I need you to make a way. I need you to show me something. But because I went to him versus, and when he told me to get up and get myself together, I did. And again, the old version of me would have still got up. Even though God told me to get up, I still would have got up and handled it my way. My old version, the old Maya would have done that. And I got up and I was obedient and I got myself together and I had to be still for a moment. And then no sooner than I did that, it was like so quickly. He just began to give me answers. And I was just so, then I'm really crying, right? Because I was like, thank you, God. But I know that there is a phase and there was definitely a season in my life where I did not respond that way. Because when I had all of those unknowns, the enemy started, the enemy started planting doubt in my head. Like, you're not going to get that. I understand you're praying and asking God for that, but you ain't going to get that. They're not going to offer you that. That's not going to be an opportunity for you. Well, you're not going to be able to do that because you got to do this. And you got to do that. So I don't even know why you're even thinking about doing this over here. Like, that is the things that the enemy was saying to me. So really, when I'm sliding down the wall crying, it's really because the devil is just attacking me. And I'm starting to believe these things. I'm starting to believe these things because they're having an impact on me. My response, my trauma response is just I'll be honest with you, it all depends on the situation. I have all of them, all 7 of them. Because sometimes I'm ready to fight you. And sometimes I will remove myself. Sometimes I do literally just shut down and freeze. I have been the people pleaser that will shrink myself to keep the peace. I've been that. I have. I have just cried and become, just consumed. I've done all 7 of those trauma responses. I have no lie to tell you. And even showed up in this situation. But because I had the wherewithal to call out to my father, to call out to my daddy and say, God, I need you to just make a way. All it took was for me to just seek him, And he made a way. But we don't often do that. Satan, he comes to kill, steal, and destroy. But for the most part, he's just a thief. I'm just being honest with you. 9 times out of 10, he prefers to just rob you. Because if he can keep you from your joy, if he can keep you from your peace, if he can keep you from your purpose, he's won. He's won. Because when he does that, he's keeping you from your blessings. He's keeping you from your covering. He's pulling you away from your anointing. He's keeping you from using your gifts. He's keeping you from growing. He's keeping you from moving forward. He's keeping you in sin. He's keeping you in depression. He's keeping you in sadness. Look at what he's going to keep you in versus what he's also keeping you from if you just turn away from those things. Because God says that his promises says that he is going to strengthen us. His promises says he will never leave or forsake us. His promises says that we are going to have life more abundantly. None of those things that Satan plants in us, in our minds, because that's where he's coming. They all pull us away from what we know God has said he is going to do and will do in our lives, and does it. A lot of it, he just gives it to us. We don't even have to do anything to earn it. He just gives it to us, right? And for whatever reason, we let the enemy in to our minds is truly the devil's playground. You have to learn to control your mind, because when you don't, he's coming. He's coming. And it's easy for him to seep that doubt into your mind and to make you believe that God ain't going to do it. He ain't going to do it. You're not going to get that job. You're not getting into that school. They're not going to offer you that salary. You're not even qualified. That's what Satan does. You're not going to get that house. Your credit ain't good enough for that car. That's what Satan does. He puts that doubt in you. The one thing that you can count on, and the one thing that you can always have faith in, is God is not a liar. God has never lied. He's never lied. That's all Satan does is lie. He is the master of lying. That's all he does. That's all he knows how to do. So know and understand that God is not a liar. He's never lied to us, ever. Now, we lie to him. We break our promises to him all the time. but he doesn't lie to us. And so that's what you have to lean into and know and understand that 9 times out of 10, Satan didn't fire a kill shot to destroy you or take you out, but he robbed you blind. So learn to do the work to take account for what was left behind when you made it out of something so that you can work to restore that. Because if not, he's going to hold it captive. Understand and know the promises that God has made on your life to all of us. And understand that if Satan can keep you away from those promises, if he can keep you away from it, that's why you're stagnant. That's why you're not growing. That's why you feel like I'm not being blessed. Well, where are you? We talked about it last week. What % of you is properly planted? Because until you get properly planted, honey, the Father's not sending the rain because he does not multiply confusion. He is not the author of confusion. He does not put pen to chaos. So properly plant yourself. Do your work to make sure that you are not being pulled away from what God has for you. There's a bright side. You have to know that it's there. So that concludes episode 3 of Meek and Humble Hearts. Y'all, that's my favorite number. Y'all know that's me and Jesus' number, 3. So that concludes episode 3. I want you to take inventory. I want you to go look and make sure that you have what you're supposed to have. Take inventory and really look and determine if you've been robbed. I guarantee you, you're missing something. We all are. But let this be the message that you need to force you to get up and go get your stuff back. Go get your joy back. Go get your peace back. Go get your happiness back. Go get whatever Satan has taken. Take authority and go take it back. Go take it back. It does not belong to him. It was yours. God gave it to you. Don't let yourself be robbed. Go get your stuff back. Go get your stuff back. So next week, we will discuss the topic. It'll be episode 4, and the topic is throw it overboard. It's a fun one. We're going to have some fun. I hope that you guys are enjoying these conversations. I am just being transparent. I am just sharing my life from a biblical lens. Like, fact check me. I give you the scriptures and I'm coming from. Fact check me. A lot of the times you can just look at your life experiences and you're like this. I feel you, Maya. Yep. Got it. So take inventory and go get your stuff back, because I guarantee you, you're missing something. And I will see you here next week. Guys, thank you so much. I love you. God bless you. And I will see you in the next one. Mwah.